Hi, hello, vanakkam, and welcome to yet another episode on Little Slaw YouTube channel. And so far in our videos, we are seeing about various interesting, informative videos on Git and various other DevOps related courses. So here you're seeing a window, which is the github.com. And this is going to be the first episode of GitHub. And in the following sessions, we have various informational and informative videos where we are going to see about how to set up a Git, how to create a repo, how to fork a repo, and what is a GitHub flow, and how to contribute to projects, and how to be social, and how to communicate on GitHub, and various other interesting and informative resources. So today, this is our first episode on GitHub. So we will see what exactly is GitHub and what are all the things we are or which is possible using GitHub. Something like we can create and use a repository, and we can start and manage a new branch, and where we can make a change to a file and push it to GitHub as commit, or we can open and merge a pull request. So this is going to be totally a simple video, but which is loaded with a lot of information, which you don't feel tired. You'll be This video is going to be more interesting. So please do watch the video till the end. And this is me, Yavasan Shanmugam. And if you have not subscribed to our channel, please do subscribe to our channel, like, share the video, and comment your questions and feedbacks in the comment section. So with no further ado, let's see the content of today's episode. So this GitHub is a code hosting platform for version control and collaboration. And this GitHub lets us and our colleagues to work together on projects from anywhere across the world. The only thing which you need is a GitHub account and an internet access. So today in this video, we will see about what are the GitHub essentials, like what is a repository or what is a branch, and how to do a commit, and what is a pull request. And today we will create a hello world repository, and also we'll learn how does this GitHub's pull requests work. We'll see how to create and review the code, which is basically it's a kind of a reviewing the code. So first we'll see about how to create and use a repository. So to start or to complete and to follow this video, please make sure you have a GitHub account with an internet access. And I believe if you have a GitHub account and if you're able to access a GitHub account, you must have an internet access. For this video, we don't need to know how to code because this is going to be a totally complete GUI interaction, a GUI experience, and you don't need to know how to code, or you're not using any command line, or you don't need even to install Git. So if you have any questions, please do comment in the comment section. So first, let's see how to create a repository. So basically, a repository is used to organize a single project or one particular project. And this repository contains folders, files, images, videos, spreadsheets, and data sets, anything that our project needs. And these repositories often include a README file, a file with information about our project. And these README files are returned in the plain text markdown language. So basically, that's why you can see that file as a readme.md, which is the markdown format. So here on the top, we could see the new symbol. So let's click on the new, which will take us to the new repository. So let's give the name as hello world. And this is available. So I can create this repository, because if you have another repository, the same name, we are not allowed to create the file. So here we could see hello world is available, and let's give the description. So let's give a small description that as little episode on GitHub playlist. And here we could see two options. One is the public or the private. And if I create a public, anybody around the world who has access to GitHub can access my files, can view my files. And if it is a private, it is restricted. And only the people who I provide access can view the files. And if you are working under an organization, there is one more option which we have, is the internal, which is internal to the organization, but that is not visible to us in this external GitHub. But if you work in an organization, you will have that internal enabled. So now I'm choosing the public, and then I'm selecting this add a README file. So this is where we give the long description of our project, which will help our colleague to understand what exactly is happening with the project. Then we have other options where we add the .git ignore. So we'll see about what exactly is this git ignore and how does it work. Then we have this licensing part, just not required now. So with no other choices we are clicking on the create repository. That has created as the hello world repository. So here we can see, so this is my name. So under this, so I'm owning this repository, and under this I have this hello world. So now I have created a repository, a new repository. So let's now see how to create a branch. So what is a branch, or why do we need a branch in the project? So by default, our repository has one branch. So this is where we can see that we have one branch, which is the main. And that is considered to be the definitive branch, or that is the main branch. Say, for example, if we are using the GitHub to load or to have our code. So this is the final code that we have in the production, in the live environment. But we can create additional branches of main in our repository, and we can use these branches to have different versions of project at one particular time. So why do we need a branch? So this is helpful when we want to add a new feature to a project without changing the main source of code. Say, for example, if you want to add a button, or if you want to add a checkbox, or if you want to add a add card, or if you want to make changes in any page of your current production code. So to add that new feature without touching the main, we can create this branch, and the work done on different branches will not show up on the main branch until we merge the branches, which we will cover later in this videos. And we can use these branches to experiment and make edits before committing them to main. So when we take a branch, or when we create a branch of the main branch, what happens is we are making a copy of the main branch. And if someone else made changes to the main branch while we were working on branch, we should pull in those updates. So we can see how to pull those. So if we don't pull, automatically we have the latest version, or we will have only the final version of what we have pulled during the time from the main branch. So let's now see how to create a branch. So here we can see find or create a branch. So let me enter a name, which is branch 1, or enters feature branch. And when I click enter, automatically the branch will get created. Or I can click on this, which will create a feature branch, which have created a feature branch. So right now we have two branches. One is the main and the other one is feature. So here we can see the same set of files with no changes. So any files we have in the main branch will be automatically being copied or will be snapshotted to the feature branch. So far we have seen about how to create a repository, then we have seen what is a repository, and then we have seen what is a branch and how to create a branch. So let's now see about how to make and commit changes. So when we create a new branch, GitHub has given us the code page for our new the README file, which is a copy of the main. And we can make and save changes to the files in our repository. On GitHub, we call these saved changes as commits, and each commit has an associated commit message, which is a kind of a description which explains why a particular change is made, or sometimes what changes are made. And this commit messages capture the history of our changes so that the other contributors or our colleagues who works with us can understand what we have done or what others have done to the files, and we can understand that and why they have made that changes. So now let's go to the README file. So this is under the feature branch, because any change that we make, we'll have to make in the branch. So I'm opening this file. And to edit the file, we have to click on this pen or pencil symbol. So I'm clicking on this edit this file. And then adding a line, which is line 2 to connect the file in the feature branch. I have made the changes now. And here under this commit changes, we'll have to write the commit message. So let's make it as second commit or first commit in the feature branch. Mostly it has to be related to what kind of changes you made in the file. And I'm clicking on commit changes. So this commit will be committed directly to the feature branch, and we are not creating a new branch for this commit and starting a pull request. So instead, we are making it as very simple and clear that we are committing this. And here we can see that particular line is reflecting in the README file. So now we have made the changes in the branch, but that is not reflected in the main. So let's now create, or let's now pull this to the main branch, and let's see how to do it. So pull requests are the main, or they are the heart of the collaboration on GitHub, because when we open a pull request, we are sending our changes and requesting our team or our colleagues, or our colleagues are requesting us to review and pull in our contribution and merge them into the main branch. So basically, this pull request shows differences in the files, like what are the changes we made and what was the earlier content of the file from both the branches. And the changes, additions, and subtractions are shown in different colors so that we can easily identify what are the changes we made, what are the additions we made, and what are the subtractions. Say, for example, if we are removing some code or some lines in the file, so that is something we call as subtractions. And as soon as we make a commit, so now we have made a commit, so we can open a pull request and start a discussion even before the code is finished. And we have an option of mentioning the feature in our pull request. So we can even open pull request in our own repository and merge them ourselves. So it's a great way to learn how to do the GitHub flow. It works. So we can actually try these by pausing it step by step, and you can do it so that you can easily understand how does this work. Instead of just watching the video, you can just pause the video, take some time, practice this, and move on to the next step. So let's now see how to do this pull request. So we have this pull request in the third option in this menu. So we have code, issues, pull request, actions, projects, wiki, security, insights, things. So out of all these, we have this pull request is the third option. So I'm clicking on the pull request for repository. And let's now click the new pull request. And let's now compare the files from the main to the feature branch. And here we can see the differences of what we have added. So this is the file we have, this is the line we have added in the readme file. So this is the file. So we have only one file, which is the readme. And here we can see, so this is the original file, and this is the file that we have updated or we have made changes in the branch. So here we could see the plus symbol which is being added here. So here let's click on create pull request. So which means this change that we made in the feature branch will be moved to the main branch. So click on create pull request, and we'll have to give the pull request a title and write a brief description of our changes. So let's write and give a comment here. So here we have already given it as first commit in the feature branch. So I'm adding it as first pull request to the main branch. So this can be more meaningful because we don't make any changes. So this is a first pull request we are making from the pull request from the feature main branch. So we have a lot of other options. So, and these are like who is going to review. So if we have been collaborating with our colleagues in our organization where we need someone to review the code, what we made as change, and then we have the assignees where we can assign someone. And then we have labels to add and what are the projects that we are working on, and what is the project that we have here, and what are the milestones we have. So these are the various options. If we really want to involve that team, we can actually use this. So if we click on here, if we have any users, we can choose them. And if we have any assignees, we can choose them. So I'm the assignee. So if I want, I can assign myself and we can do the changes. And if there are someone else who work with us in our team, we can assign them the change. So now I have made all the changes, and let's click the create pull request. So now after we made changes to the pull request, so we have created the pull request, and now here we could see merge pull request as the option. So, and this is again the final step of completing this procedure where we have made a change in the let me just recap it. So we have created a main branch, then we have created a feature branch of it where we have made a changes to the file, and then we are trying to pull it to the main branch. So for that we have created a pull request, and then finally we are going to merge the pull request, which means any change that we made in the feature branch will be moved to the main branch file, and that is what we are doing it now. So this is the final step, and we are merging our changes from the feature branch to the main branch. And after we merge our pull request, the changes on our feature branch will be incorporated into the main branch. And sometimes a pull request might introduce changes to the code that conflict with the existing code on main. And if there are any conflicts, GitHub will alert us about the conflicting code and prevent us from merging until the conflicts are resolved. And this we can actually make a commit that resolves the conflicts, or use any comments in the pull request to discuss the conflicts with our team members. But in this change that we are making now, we should not have any conflict. So we are ready to merge our branch into the main branch. So let's now click on the merge pull request. But again, we could see here there are like two other options where we can create a merge commit by default, or we can actually squash and merge where any conflict code or any differences are there, but still we can squash and merge, whereas our code will be pushed to the main branch. Then we have rebase and merge, but that we'll see in later code. We don't want to confuse a lot in the very first session. So let's click on this merge pull request and let's confirm the merge. So now we could see here delete, where we can see delete the branch. Why do we need that? So now that our pull request, that whatever changes we made in the feature branch is merged to the main branch. So now this pull request is merged and our changes are on main, and we can safely delete this branch. And if we want to make more changes to our project, we can always create a new branch and repeat this process. So it is always advisable, and it's a best practice to, after we merge the changes, we can delete the branch. So I'm deleting branch now, which is we are deleting the feature branch. And in any case, if we want to make any changes to the code, we can always create a branch. We can make the change, we can pull the request, then we can merge the code. And finally, we can delete the feature branch that we have made changes for. So far we have completed this video, and I believe you would have learned about creating a project, making a pull request. So before that, we have created a branch, we changed a file, we committed a change, and then we have opened and merged a pull request. So now we can go to the code, we can see that the change that we made in the branch has been updated to the main. So now we have only the main, and the other branch we have created for the feature change has been deleted. That's how this Git flow works. So I believe this video would have been very, very useful to you. Please take a lot of time. Do stop, pause the video, follow the steps, and slowly you can understand how does this work, the branching, the pull request, the merging and everything. Please do take time and follow these steps carefully. This is very easy and more informative. So with that, we come to an end. And until we meet you in our next video, it's bye-bye from Vasan Shanmugam and Little's Law.